Today we're going to talk about my singers don't sing in tune without the piano. Help! That is our topic for today because I was working on this myself with one of my choirs yesterday. But first, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Andrea Oram. I am a music teacher. I teach a lot about voice. I teach choirs, young kids, general music classes, all sorts of things. But I also mentor new music teachers. I mentor people who already have a degree and already have a first-time job. I mentor people who are interested in becoming a music teacher but don't necessarily want to go through all of the degree pieces for it, but want to lead like a church choir or something like that. So that's kind of my passion and something I love to do. And this topic is a little bit more geared towards that. So if you like this video and you're like, man, that was great, you can check out the link in the description of this video for more information. For a free group where I have a guide section that has all sorts of information that will be helpful for you if you're already in the group, or if you want more information on the other things that I do, you can check out my website and the link there. So with that, my singers don't sing in tune without the piano. Uh-oh, help. So yesterday I was actually dealing with this with one of my choirs because we're doing a couple a cappella pieces for Christmas. And so I'm going to give you at least one big tip that I used, or one strategy that I used with my singers yesterday. But really the reason why, you have to get to the reason why they're not singing in tune, right? If you're the singer that's not in tune, this might be helpful for you too. So stick around. But if someone doesn't sing in tune, that could mean two things. And you have to figure out which one of these two things it is. Either they're not using their voice in a way that is enabling them to sing those pitches. So maybe it's high pitches or low pitches, or maybe it's a vocal technique issue, right? Or it's a listening issue and it's an ear training issue. So it's either a vocal training issue for technique purposes, or it's an ear training issue and the listening needs to be different. And they have the ability to sing it in tune. They're just not using their ear well enough to know that they're not in tune. Does that make sense? If you are watching live, let me know if that distinction makes sense and that you really need to dive down into which one is it before you can actually fix it, right? Because if you don't know what the problem is, you can't fix a problem that you don't know exists. Or you know it exists, but you don't know why it exists. You have to know why it exists before you can fix it. So check into those two, see which one you think it is. Maybe try a vocal technique related thing to address it. If that doesn't help, try a listening technique to address it. Now for me, with my choir yesterday, I determined it was a listening issue. So here's two things that you could tell your choir or work with your choir on to try and resolve that issue. The first thing I did is I told I said, if you're a louder singer, sing quieter. And if you're a quieter singer, sing louder, so that hopefully between the two of us, or between all of us, that we will be more balanced out and we will be able to hear each other better so that we can tune to each other better. So listening. So I told them, listen to each other a little more. Pay attention. If you're the loud one, quiet down. If you're the quieter one, turn up the volume a little bit so we'd be a little more balanced. That did help some. It helped with more the blending aspect, but it didn't necessarily help with our tuning issue fully. So the next thing I did is I said, do you think that sounds like the pitch that it's supposed to be? And some of them, were like, I don't know. And some of them said, no, they didn't think it was. And I said, okay, I want you to listen to it. Here's the note it's supposed to be. Sing that part one more time on your own. So I isolated the part that I thought it was. And then I said, okay, when we're singing it, I want you to listen for this note, which was the root of the chord, and make sure it's a really happy sounding note above that. Because we were talking about the third of the chord. If the third is low, it sounds a little bit minor, things like that, right? So that really helped them. They were able to really pay attention to the note it was, make it a little bit higher, isolate it, and then combine it with the fact that we talked about the blending and making sure that if you're loud, sing soft. If you're soft, sing loud. Already really solved that problem for us. in a really, really great way. So those are couple tips for you. First of all, figure out what type of problem it is. Is it technique or is it listening? And second of all, 2 ways that you can address the listening piece of it, like I did yesterday. So if you are more interested in figuring out what are some of the ways you could deal with the technique side of it, I have lots of information in the Strength Train Your Voice group, which is, if you're not in the group already, there's a link in the description of this video. So go check that out. There's lots of information there that will be helpful for you and hopefully get you closer on that way to figuring out, okay, what are the technique pieces that you could address? How can you address it in a fun, easy feeling way? And I hope that helps you. So have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. And I will catch you again on Monday morning. Bye for now.